Right, what we're doing is we're looking at natural selection. Right, with this, there's a standard answer. I'll go through it when I come across it. Again, this is more to do with okay, let's get it out of the way. Right, ash borers, that's an ash borer and that's a wasp, or as it's correctly said, wasp. These ash borers try to mimic them, so they have this yellow marking that looks like this. So anybody that wants to come and sort them out or eat them or attack them, they'll think twice because they think, ooh, is it a wasp? Right, that's the story behind that. But we want to know, so just why maggots need to feed on carb. What did we say? There's 3 molecules, isn't there? Carbohydrates, protein, and lipids. Right, carbohydrates. We said that is like maltose, glucose, and so on. This one, think of peptides, peptides and amino acids, and lipids breaks down into glycerol and a fatty acid. There you go. Right, why do you need to feed on carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are used for respiration, and that releases energy for whatever it's needed, whether it's movement or growth or whatever. Describe the process that is used by root hair cells to absorb minerals. So there's the plant, there's the soil, and these are the roots. Now if you zoom in here, you've got the root, and then from there you've got root hair cells. So there's a cell there, it's like this there. It projects outwards. So away from the plant or away from the root, you've got things that you need, whether it's water, minerals, and they need to be absorbed so then the plant can use them. Right, because the concentration is higher on the inside of some, so for example, the farmer puts in some fertilizer. The plant's already got absorbed some of it, so it won't diffuse in normally because the concentration gradient's higher inside. There's more inside, so it goes through another process called active, what is it called? Active transport. Right, so this needs respiration for energy for this process. So the plant respires, carries out respiration to pull those mineral ions in so it can use them. So it's active transport, respiration, and it goes from, and the mineral ion goes from, and this is just to finish it off, goes from an area of low concentration to an area of high concentration. So it goes against the concentration gradient. So just leave that there for now. So that can go into there. Right, magnesium ions are used to help trees grow. How do magnesium? So magnesium is used to make chlorophyll. Right, and chlorophyll is the green pigment in plants, in the chloroplast. And what happens with that? This is used okay during oh, how do you spell during? Let me move this up. I can't write at the moment. During photosynthesis. What did we say photosynthesis was? Quickly. You've got the sun beaming down. You've got your plant. The energy comes down. It converts water plus carbon dioxide using the chloroplast and sunlight, and converts it into glucose and oxygen. You'll have to know that. Right, okay, that's that done. Right, now we need to look at this. I'll try to write it in a standard way. So what they're saying is ash borers look very similar to wasps. Use your knowledge of natural selection to explain why ash borers evolved to look like whoopsies. Okay, let's have a look. First thing, right, and I just learned this. Right, random mutation in the DNA leads to variation in, so I'm going to change color, the ash borers. Borers. I don't know why I did a capital, but it's matter. Then you write this variation means, now for this specific question, means I'm going to call it ash borer looks more wasp like. What does that mean? This means it will survive. It will survive because it is not attacked. Yep. It will then reproduce or breed. Now, not passing on its wasp like alleles. To its offspring. This process continues over time. Let me just go. Let me write this again. Continues. Oh my god, did I write off? Come on. over. That's it. That is the perfect. This is your model answer. No, my word, I was going to copy that. But that's your model answer. Now we can apply this structure. Let me see if I can copy it. Copy. Right, okay. Right. This one's slightly different, but let me just copy it down here. Really? Going over there. Okay. It's going to be very similar, but this one is slightly. So we've got here. So a student suggests that purple flowers are more likely to be visited than white flowers. Use your knowledge of natural selection to suggest how this might affect the number of purple and white flowers in the wild. So what will happen is more white pollen, more. So you've got. Let me get this right. Oh, come on. Hello. 1 second. This is not behaving. Oh, there you go. Hello. No, okay. So more. I was gonna something wrong with the pen. More purple pollen will be transferred to other flowers. So what will that what will happen because of that? So purple flowers will be produced since as the purple gene or purple okay, as the purple allele is passed on in its seeds to the offspring. Yeah, so then what will happen? You will have more purple flowers produced. So so you've got more purple flowers, so less white flowers. That means that the bees will visit more purple flowers, and that will continue on. And then just finish up by saying this continues on for generations, and then eventually you get loads of purple flowers forming and the odd white one, or yeah, the white one. Okay, right, let's look at this. The use of a pesticide may result in an increased number of pest organisms that are resistant. Now we have to use our knowledge to see why pest organisms are increasing. That's what they're saying. Why is there more bugs that are resistant to pesticides? Now, let's look at this. Right, so I'm going to write. Let me write it out again, actually, yeah. So I'm going to write this stuff out in black, yeah? So random exactly as it is, random mutation in the DNA leads to variation in the we'll say pest, right? So come on, boop, 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 boop. Made that work for a bit. Right, in let's put this in blue. Actually, let's put it in red. Put it in red. Let's put it in red. Let's put it in red. Hello. No, it doesn't want to know. Start working. Hello, hello, hello. Right, okay, we got it. Right, okay. In the pest. So I've replaced the blue with the. Then I go back. Oh, it's gonna take 2 days now. Right. Right. You have to be patient with me with this one. Right. So now I'm gonna write this one. This variation means, what does it mean? It means the pest will survive. Okay, let's leave that word to the next one. This pest will be resistant to the pesticide. Then what happens? It will survive. So I've just copied that. Then I'm going to copy this. It will breed. It will breed or reproduce. Now I'm going to write this. And pass on its pesticide resistant alleles to its offspring. There you go. Right, and then we just finish it off. This process continues over time, over many generations. There you go. That's it. So you learn this structure. Very useful. And I think the rest of the questions are going to be very similar to that. Right, let's look at the next question. Right, selective breeding, it involves humans. Normally some sort of farmer. And it's faster. It doesn't take hundreds or thousands of years to have an effect. Also, it's what can you say? It's not related to survival of the fittest. So it does not affect survival. Yeah. Well, it does not affect survival. I suppose you could say it does, because, but anyway, that's another argument. So it does not affect survival. and it's nothing to do with survival of the fittest or adaptations. It's human involvement. Farmers sometimes use pesticides to prevent flies attacking sheep. Give two problems with chemical pesticides. Right, they could kill or harm other organisms. So, for example, if you want to kill an aphid, you might end up killing ladybirds and other insects. Then, if the birds feed off them, then they're gonna end up being harmed as well. So you also get something called bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation occurs, which is not good, and you can also end up with, like we mentioned above there, the flies may develop, oh my god, develop resistance. Right, what is bioaccumulation? So let's look at it this way. You've got a little bug here. It's eaten by a bigger bug, which is eaten by a chicken, which is eaten by a human. So the farmer sprays, that ends up with, just say, a few. Now this bug is gonna eat lots of them. Right, and the bird's gonna eat lots of. So these are little, so this ate 4 and it got eaten by this bug, which ate 10 of them, so that might end up with 40. That ate loads of them, that might end with 400. And the human being eats lots of chickens, it might end up with 4,000. Now that might start causing like kidney failure, liver failure, heart failure, brain failure. That is called bioaccumulation because they're being accumulated further up the chain. So that's what bioaccumulation is. Okay. Immune systems, wounds. Okay, forget that. We're not going to answer that. We are not interested in that. We are not interested in that. We've done this anyway before. So we're talking about natural selection here. Increase in superbugs. These are superbugs. Same idea. So first thing you do. Now you see this they've given as a 4 marker. But it's the same thing. Right? So how do we start it? Random mutation in the DNA leads to variation. First sentence done. This variation means it will survive the antibiotic. It then breeds, passing on its antibiotic resistant gene to its offspring. Right, so and then this continues on for generations. That is it. It's the same structure. Standard first line, This variation means it will survive what? The antibiotic. It then breeds, passing on its antibiotic resistant gene to its offspring, and this continues. That is standard there. If you can get that structure, you're on your way. Okay. Let's see if we can get this done in one big video. Antibiotics are chemicals used to kill pathogens. What are pathogens? Pathogens are what? Disease causing what? Organisms. Okay, name the type of organism that makes antibiotics. It's a fungi. Name the type of pathogen that is killed by bacteria. Right, okay, this is exactly the same thing. Look, it's antibiotics, no longer effective, so they become resistant, and use your knowledge of natural selection. So it's exactly the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. Random mutation in the DNA leads to variation. Full stop. This variation means that it will survive because it will survive what? Because the antibiotic is not effective, so it will survive the antibiotic. It then breeds, passing on its antibiotic resistant allele to its offspring, and it continues on for generations. That's exactly the same. That is we're not going to bother with that. Should we bother with that? Actually, let's try it. Let us not leave it because you might not come across this again. Mesophile. So remember we said, I don't know if it's a good idea actually. It doesn't matter. Let's do it. You've got your upper epidermis. Dermis. That's the upper layer of skin. Then you've got your densely packed. This is your palisade layer. Lots of chloroplasts. Then you've got your spongy mesophyll, which has got gaps in it to allow diffusion of gases. And then you've got your lower epidermis, and here you've got these things called guard cells. This is this spongy mesophyll layer. Right, so what will happen? You will end up with lower number of fruits. If you can use the word lower yield, that would be better. Right, why is that? Because so this here, this is the mesophyll layer. It consists of the palisade layer and the spongy mesophyll, the spongy layer. So there will be less chloroplasts, so less photosynthesis. So that means that there's less carbohydrates. Carbohydrates produce hydrates for growth, and that'll do it. Right, same question, right? Pesticides are no longer successful in controlling the pest because they become resistant. So, first one, how do we start it? Random mutation in the DNA leads to variation, full stop. This variation means the pest will become resistant to the pesticide. This means it will survive and breed, passing on its alleles or passing on its pesticide-resistant alleles to its offspring. The offspring breed, and this continues on for generations. That is it. It's as simple as that. Very, very simple. So just one other reason why the pesticide that was sprayed onto the leaf miner was not successful. Right, there's the leaf. This is the leaf miner, and as the name suggests, it burrows in. So the leaf miner is here. And when you spray on top, it doesn't always get there and it won't kill it. So the leaf miner is inside the leaf, whilst the pesticide is outside. Oh dear. Right. There you go. Vaccination. Right, okay, we're going to forget vaccination. Right, natural selection increases the number of alligators with alligacin. Right, this is like an antibiotic in the alligator's blood. So what they're saying is the alligators with more alligacin or alligacin we'll call it, because you say alligator, alligacin will survive. So what happens is alligators with more alligacin will survive pathogens. So for example, if one year there's lots of pathogens, the ones with little alligacin will die off. The other ones will survive. They will breed, passing on passing on the alligacin producing alleles to their offspring or their kids, and then this continues on for generations. This continues on for generations. Right, so again, it's like they don't want the first part of this, so you've got to really sort of fine-tune it. So the alligator is already there. The ones with more alligacin will survive. They will then breed and pass on their alligacin producing alleles to their offspring, and this continues on for generations. Right. What does the word population means? It's the same number. It's the number of organisms of the same species. Right, okay, so we need to explain what's going on. So have you noticed you've got lots of dark shelled snails, and over time the darker shelled snails die off, or black shells, because what happens is they're probably easier to see by the predator, so they'll pick those out whilst these lot will survive. There's better camouflage. Now it's a 5 marker and it's exactly the same idea. So what's going to happen is it's going to be, let me get that and show you. It's just slight difference, and that's all you need to do. Just keep learning it. There you go. What I'm going to do is no, too slow. Move you down, move you down, move you down, move you down, move you down. We're nearly there. We will get there eventually. Right, if I put that in there, right. Whoa, dude. Move that over there, move that there. Right, okay, we're ready. In case I need it again. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rub this off. I'm going to rub that off. I'm going to rub that off. Right, so random mutation in the DNA leads to variation in the snails. This variation means the snail has a lighter colored shell. Right, this means that it will survive. Why? We can just put an extra bit here because it has better camouflage. Right, it will then reproduce, passing on its light shell colored alleles to its offspring. This process continues. So eventually the darker shelled snails will die off. Right. Same thing. Explain how natural selection of results in cinnabar moths that are not killed by the poison. So they become resistant to the poison. So random mutation in the DNA leads to variation. This variation means the cinnabar moths are resistant to the poison. They will survive and breed and pass on the alleles, the poison resistant alleles, to their offspring. And this continues on for generations. It is as simple as that. We're not interested in that. Are we interested in that? Yes and no. Not here though. Hepatic portal vein. So this is the only vein that does not go to the heart. It goes via the liver. But we'll come back to that. That's not a problem. Right, there you go. Here you go. A katydid is a insect, and it looks like a leaf, and that's how it survives. So, right, this is the last one. You can go through this. Where is it? Let's drag this down and see if you can do this yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do that. Right, random mutation in the DNA leads to variation in the cathetids. This variation means the what? The cathetids look more leaf-like. Can you see it's the same thing? What happens then? This means it will survive. It will then reproduce, passing on its leaf-like alleles to its offspring. This process continues on over time. That is it. If you can remember that structure, these questions are okay. But you won't need them. Well, you might as well learn it. You won't need them for double, but when you do double later on, or single sciences, which are worth 1 GCSE each, it will be useful. Right, okay, that's it. That's it, done.